Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to News Dose, and we just got a bit of an unexpected twist for one of Xbox's next big games being Gears of War E-Day, and also to a smaller degree Fable as well. Now, I don't really think the Fable news is necessarily surprising, but it is still a very welcome update, so we will still talk about that one as well. Now, as for Gears of War E-Day, though, of course they just revealed its trailer, and it really does look flat out amazing. I think that much is clear. It's easily my most anticipated game. But the big mystery right now is its release date. They ended that trailer without a mention of a release date or even a release window. And a lot of times that either means that a game is still a little ways away, or they're just not confident enough to peg a release window quite yet. Well, that's where things get really interesting, because according to a new rumor that's been blowing up online these past 24 hours, we might now have a release window. And I think that this is rather unexpected if true. So just considering how this rumor has taken off the way that it has, we are going to talk about that today, and I'll give you my thoughts to whether or not I buy into this claim personally. Now, we also got an update for the most anticipated games as well, or at least according to IGN, though I do think certain people out there are maybe overstating its importance. And then we'll talk about some Ubisoft games, because they're honestly just such a strange company that makes zero sense to me half the time that they do anything. Let's go and get right into this Xbox rumor, though, and this is coming from Tom Warren over on The Verge. He's pretty well respected for his Xbox sources and updates, which kind of explains why this rumor has been blowing up the way that it has. But even still, this one really threw me for a loop, and I remain very skeptical. According to him, though, he said that Microsoft didn't put a date or release window on Gears of War E-Day, but a few months back, I'd heard that it was targeting a release in 2025, ahead of even Fable. That may have changed by now, so the lack of a release window gives the Coalition some breathing room here. Either way, I don't think we'll have to wait too long to see how Gears can really push the Xbox Series consoles. So like I said, I think that this is a little bit unexpected. I think most of us left that showcase thinking that Gears of War E-Day is still years off from a release. But according to what Tom Warren has heard, that might not be the case after all. Apparently, it could release as early as next year. Though I'm going to go and say this right now. Despite this rumor, I still think the fans should go in expecting a 2026 release or even beyond. Now, the reason I say that is really for two different reasons. One is because I think that it sets healthier expectations. If it comes out next year, then hey, that's a great surprise and everything. But let's just go and hypothetically say that they show another trailer next year, and then at the end of that trailer, it shows a 2026 release window. Well, if that were to happen, well, then all of a sudden, all these stories would say, oh, it got delayed because this one single rumor here that doesn't even necessarily seem to be overly confident. Tom Warren even said himself that plans may have changed since he last heard about it. Now, the other reason that I look at 2026, though, is really from a strategical standpoint. If you think about it, Gears of War has always been a technical powerhouse that showcases what console hardware is capable of. And when I saw that trailer for E-Day, I got the sense that the Coalition is going to do that once again. They're going to push the boundary of what these consoles are capable of with groundbreaking visuals. And I think because of that, this really is the perfect game to launch next to their rumored next-generation Xbox that's supposedly planned for 2026. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Gears of War E-Day won't be available on the Xbox Series consoles as well. It could end up being a cross-generation game for all we know. But I think this could be a really great showcase game for their next generation hardware. It would be a great way for them to get people to buy into their next console. And in fact, I'd actually prefer Gears of War E-Day to launch alongside their next Xbox if that console actually does come out in 2026. I'm a longtime Gears fan, and I want it to be the best possible experience that it can be, with the best frame rate that it can get, and with the best visuals that it can get. So, I mean, honestly, I'm all for a 2026 release when that next Xbox might truly unlock its potential for those things. Plus, on top of all that, 2026 is also the 20th anniversary for Gears of War, and, E-Day would be a great way to celebrate that as well. So, okay, I get it, it might be a longer wait, but I think 2026 makes more sense for a few different reasons. Now, I could be wrong about all of this, and Tom Warren could end up being right, but that's just my opinion as of this video. Now, if you disagree, hey, tell me why. I'm all for a healthy debate. So, which side do you fall on? Do you fall on Team J Or do you fall on Team Warren? I'm okay either way. Just go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Now, as for Fable, I do 100% believe this. Tom Warren also claimed that Fable is targeting a release between October and December of 2025. That seems to be pretty realistic, but just hearing that, if you look at the potential lineup that Xbox has for next year, right now that would include Fable, more than likely Call of Duty, of course. Then there's South of Midnight, Doom the Dark Ages, and possibly Clockwork Revolution as well. I mean, who knows what other surprises they have in store, and then you can also throw Gears of War E-Day on there as well, if you believe that. But right now, I am kind of looking at Gears E-Day as 2026, and actually Perfect Dark as well. I think that would be a great 1-2 punch for their next generation console. Again, if that console is actually planned for 2026 as it's currently rumored. Either which way, though, I mean, no matter how you look at this, Xbox's pipeline of games is honestly pretty stacked right now. Now, let's go and talk about this IGN most anticipated list, though, that everybody is seemingly raving about. So first off, let's just go and take a look at this list, and then I'll kind of give you my thoughts about its accuracy. But you can see here that Astrobot is at the number 1 spot. Then at number 2, you have Doom the Dark Ages, 3, Gears of War E-Day, 4, Perfect Dark, 5, Assassin's Creed Shadows, 6, Expedition 33, which is absolutely fantastic to see. I'm really glad to see so many people interested in that one. Number 7 is South of Midnight, 8 is Fable, 9 is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and then at number 10, you have Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Now, there's really 3 different things that kind of stands out about this list. One is, of course, Astrobot leading the way. For me, I think that that's fantastic to see because, as you all probably know by this point, I am incredibly excited for this game. I hope it sells well enough to prove to Sony that fans still want these type of games. Give us more games like Astrobot. Give us more Sly Cooper. Give us games like Jak and Daxter, Little Big Planet, and games like Ratchet and Clank. Don't just rely on all of these big AAA games. Give us more family-friendly content as well, because I think these type of games are important to have for these consoles. We need more games like this to introduce to that younger audience. You know, a lot of us started on these consoles when we were young playing games like this, and it'd be nice to have those type of games for that younger audience. And plus, you know, these games are fun for the entire family. They're not just for kids, but they really are for everybody. So I'm glad to see Astrobot number 1. And then, my goodness, Xbox has 6 out of the top 10 games on this list. And actually 7 if you also count Expedition 33, because that's actually a Game Pass game. So, I mean, yeah, they're killing it. That seems to be clear here. But that's also kind of the thing. I think people are maybe over-exaggerating the importance of this list. First off, this list is contrived from IGN playlist data, which honestly I hadn't even heard about until today, which means more than likely most of you probably weren't aware of its existence either. Apparently, it's an app that you can download on your phone, and then you can catalog your games, including wishlisting them, which is how they put this list together. Now, it seems to be kind of a cool app and everything, but the telling part about this list is that Call of Duty sits at number 9. Now, let's think about that for a moment. We just talked about Black Ops 6 yesterday because its new trailer has already eclipsed 50 million views. Just to put that in perspective, neither Xbox or PlayStation has ever had a game trailer on their channel that's reached that amount of people. In fact, PlayStation has never even had a game that's reached 40 million views on their channel, yet here we are, and Black Ops 6 is number 9 on IGN's wish list. I'll just put it this way. Let me ask you this. Does any of us honestly believe that any of these games on this list will outsell Call of Duty Black Ops 6 this year? I mean, for me, I would love to see Astrobot outsell Call of Duty. But in reality, I know that's probably not going to happen, and I'm sure most of you all probably are aware of that as well. So, yes, this is a cool list to look at in theory, and if anything, hopefully it's a good sign for games like Astrobot and Expedition 33. But for anybody trying to use this list as some kind of real-life data and that this will translate to, you know, the best-selling game, yeah, it's not really that. Now, one last thing that I want to talk about here, though, is Ubisoft. They really are just such a strange company, and I said this on the channel a few days back after their Ubisoft Forward showcase, that I was a little surprised that the Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition wasn't at that event. I mean, this game leaked late last year, and Ubisoft themselves even said that it was planned for an early 2024 release. Yet here we are in the month of June with half of the year gone, and we've seen absolutely nothing on this game. Well, thanks to new discovery, it seems like that might change sometime soon. Its trophies has since emerged on the PSN backend, which signifies that a release date could come at really any moment. Now again, I say that this is kind of strange coming after the Ubisoft Forward showcase. You would think that they would have highlighted it there, kind of give their own game publicity. But I guess not. Now, the only thing that I can think of that makes this make sense is that maybe it could show up at the Nintendo Direct. Maybe it'll then get an announcement there with some kind of shadow launch. But, even still, the strangeness of Ubisoft doesn't stop there. No. This wasn't the only weird absence from their event, because Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown also just got its Steam release date, which is set for August 8th. Now, once again, this is right after their showcase, and you would think that they would have announced it there to give it better publicity, but for whatever reason, that's just not what they did. I don't know. I guess it is what it is. I'd like to see these games get better publicity, but, either way, that's why I'm here. Even if Ubisoft doesn't want to talk about their own games for whatever reason, I got your back. Go ahead and wishlist The Lost Crown on Steam, and for that matter, keep an eye out for Beyond Good and Evil, the 20th Anniversary Edition, which could be announced at any moment. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this episode, but until next time, peace out.